Elk hunting. We think about it all year long. The preparation starts months or years before season arrives. It's no walk in the park, and for most, it's a physical and mental battle every step of the way. To be ready for September, training needs to begin early, oftentimes during the fall or winter months beforehand. As summer rolls along, running, hiking, and shooting are an everyday occasion for the successful elk hunter. Hard work and dedication is needed to push through these hot months, while the thought of a cool, crisp mountain morning remains on the back of our mind. Pushing harder, getting stronger, and growing mentally and physically will make all the difference when the time comes. Elk hunting is about hard work. It's about mental and physical toughness and the will to succeed. But most of all, it's just about having fun. Colorado bound, we're gonna do some summer elk scouting. It's late June. Got about a 9-hour drive tonight. We'll get there about 2 or 3 in the morning and hike up a mountain and look around for some elk. I'm pretty excited. This might be a spot we hunt later this fall in September. Just gonna kind of see what we see out there, check out a couple different spots and have a blast. Well, we made it. It's 3:57 in the morning. Took us a little longer than we thought, but we're up here pretty much exactly where I wanted to be, and we'll get about 2 hours of sleep maybe at max before daylight tomorrow morning, and hit the hills and go hiking right away. So see you then.
Let's go find some elk. Is it break time yet? My leg's already hurt.
Well, it rained on us for about 4.5 hours, so had to sit out the rain for a little bit in the truck, but we've got cloudy skies, but the sun's coming out a little bit, so we're heading up the mountain.
Well, we're about a quarter of the way. Seen lots of elk tracks. Some right here in this nice flat spot. Lots of elk sign. Got a long ways to go. Not in shape for this.
Yeah. Were they both bulls?
Well, it looked like they were both bulls. The one that was with his head up was for sure a bull. And I think the other one that we could just see the back of, I think it when it ran off, it looked like a bull.
I bet so. That was awesome.
Didn't even make it to the peak yet. Already on. Looks like there might be a spot right there.
Okay. That's a good view.
Yep.
Well, we got up here to this glassing knob. We can see a lot down in the bottom. There's some really good looking stuff, some meadows and some places they might like to wallow in the fall. So we're gonna go down and check that out in a little bit. But as you can see, we had a rain event last night. We had to bring out the sleeping bags and the pads to dry. It's only 44 degrees, but the wind and the sunshine really dries it out nicely. So hopefully those will be dry by tonight. But our plan now is to get down. We're gonna drop our packs and then we're gonna go and hike a bunch back and forth, make some loops down to the bottom here and see what we can find with our packs off. We can be a lot more mobile that way and hike a lot faster that way, and then probably get up to the top of the peak over here and glass tonight. It's sleeting a little bit now. We got a pop-up shower come in, so got the tent set up. Only took a couple minutes. Got our gear inside nice and dry. Pretty awesome in here. A lot of elk sign, a lot of very fresh sign, and some old sign from probably last fall too, so pretty promising. It's snowing quite a bit now, so we got in the tent. Just trying to keep dry. It's about noon. It's supposed to last maybe an hour or so. So I guess we'll just hang out here until it's done. Well, we made it back here to the spot we were looking at on the map, and honestly it doesn't look near as good as we thought. There's a bunch of snow in here, so the elk really aren't in here right now. They might be in September, but it's tough to tell for sure. There's a couple fresh tracks, but I'm just gonna keep on going and try to find some fresher sign. Got the tent out, got the fire going, drying out some boots and socks. Just made some chicken noodle soup for supper. Good stuff. Well, it's the morning of day 2. We just had 4 cow elk walk about 45 yards from camp, so that was awesome. We're gonna pack up pretty soon and go head up the mountain and kind of check out another couple spots, glass some other spots. I'm down here below where the camp is right now, just scouting a little bit before we leave, but for the most part we covered most of this canyon yesterday, so we're gonna go check out some other spots. We might drive down the road too and check out another spot a couple hours away. We'll see. Well, that's a wrap for this spot. We did a little more hiking this morning, scouted a little bit, saw some more sign, and we're headed back to the truck right now. We're gonna go down the road a couple hours, check out a new spot. We have about one more day on our scouting trip here, so see what we can find over there. Well, I think that's going to be a wrap for this trip. We hiked around quite a bit at the second spot. Really didn't find what I was hoping to find. There were a couple fresh tracks, but really not too many elk tracks, not much sign at all. So we probably won't be in here in September, but maybe that first spot we looked at might see us in there in September. Not sure yet. Gonna look at some other spots on the map in the next couple months and make a decision, and hopefully have a great fall.
touch high.
Got it?
Yeah. There's a giant 7x7 up there.
Let me look through it. Let me look through your spotter.
See, that tree is at least 7 foot by 7 foot.
Yep.
Bingo. There. It's finally happening. We're going on an elk hunt. I've been dreaming about this since I was about 14 when I drew a cow tag in Nebraska. And it's surreal just looking around at the mountains here with my brother and dad. It's going to be a good time. It's about 80 degrees right now, but we're supposed to have a cool off next week, so I'm excited. Well, we got to our camping spot. We were overlooking it on the ridge. And I was just kind of wanting to try a bugle because I've never done one in the wild and just in the car. And I let one rip, and then we heard him bugle about, I don't know, 20 seconds later. And we're going to go after him now. It's probably too late, but you never know. We're going to try it. I would probably do like 2 cow calls. Like, do a cow sequence and then wait a little bit, do another one. And if we don't hear anything, maybe like rake the branches a little bit and do a bugle. Evening and morning the second day. Well, last night we didn't get close enough, didn't hear anything after we went after him, so this morning, last night we found some really good sign and lush meadows over there. We're gonna head over there this morning and kind of scout things out, sit there and listen and watch. It's pretty nice this morning. It kind of feels a little warmer than I thought it would be, but we're in Colorado, so that's a good deal. Half the battle is trying to figure out what buckle is for what, and most of the time you're realizing it's not for anything. Where are we going? I don't know, where are we going? What saddles and benches and screes and saddles and rises and what's up there? What are we gonna go check out? The reach?
The saddle.
The saddle. Well, we came down to get here. Okay. It's Sunday night. We haven't seen or heard anything all day. About 15 minutes ago, Micah threw out a bugle, and I thought I heard a bugle back up the saddle where we crossed over to get here last night. There's a pretty good trail there. It looks like there might be a few sets of tracks on it, so Dad's going down there to check out the meadow.
we actually just called in a hunter. He had some pretty good tips for us though. He said there were about 15 vehicles down at the trailhead. I actually didn't even know you could make it up to the trailhead. The road gets really rough after we parked, but I guess they had the determination to get up there, but not a great sign. He said he really hasn't seen anything in here or heard anything at all, and neither have we. So for now, our plan is going to be just sleep here again tonight and then pack up, head back to the truck, head to a totally different area. This spot's supposed to get about a foot of snow tomorrow night, so we're going to try to go west and escape the snow and see if we can find some elk tomorrow. We made it to a new spot. We've been driving through it for a while, and there's a few trucks in here, but not too many. We're gonna put some miles on foot and see what we find. Maybe we'll find some sign and a good place to camp. Well, we saw some good looking meadows on the maps, but we hiked in here 1.5 miles and it's just bone dry. I mean, this grass should be green and lush. You can see behind me what used to be standing water. It's just crust now. I mean, there's not a lick of moisture anywhere. So we're gonna get out of here and come up with a plan. Well, we got camp set up, got the beds made and our nice lightweight pillows for camping. Got our little phone screen here.
That's for Onyx, right?
Yeah, that's for Onyx.
So we can check our maps.
Yeah. Got our cook stove here. Nothing much.
Just the basics for backcountry bow hunting.
Yeah. It's simple, but it works.
Well, it's pretty miserable this morning. We fired up the MSR stove and I cooked us some breakfast. It's not much, but it'll do.
Not bad for backcountry cooking.
No.
Watch out. There's some tracks in the snow. What? Coyote or something, it looks like.
Getting her fine-tuned.
I'm ready to go. Well, we've sat here in the truck for something like 6 hours, I think. It is brutally cold. Wind's blowing like 40 miles an hour. Snow just won't quit. It keeps coming down. You can barely see about 30 yards. So I think for today, we're just gonna head back to town, try to stay warm tonight, and probably come back early in the morning or sometime tomorrow. It's supposed to be in the 50s tomorrow, so hopefully it's a lot nicer out, but it's just too dangerous to be out here in the cold. We just don't have the gear to stay warm, and there's a fire ban here in Colorado right now, so we can't legally start a fire, so that's a big issue with that, but hopefully tomorrow it'll be nice so we can get back after these elk.
We got a break in the weather. It's crisp and cool. It's about 30 degrees. Down low, we're gonna go up on the mountain and see what we find. Yesterday when we were up there for a little bit, there was about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches of snow, and it was still falling when we left. So there might be a little more, but should make it nice to find the trails and fresh elk sign. So should be a good morning. Excited. we're getting close to where we want to set up for camp, and we've sounded off a few bugles, haven't gotten any response. But we got a nice fresh snow last night, so we're just looking for tracks now. It's beautiful out here, you can see for miles. Smoke has gone away and it's bright and sunny. So if there's elk around here, we'll find them. Just a matter of time.
Alright, we've been hiking into this spot for a while now. The snow just makes it really tough to hike, but we're probably 100 yards from where we're planning to camp, and I just came across the first fresh set of elk tracks. And from this morning, it looks like there's another set down there maybe. Super exciting, because this time of day, it's about 9:45. They're probably bedded down, and it's super quiet, but we can be really quiet in the snow, so there's a chance we can just sneak along the tracks and follow the tracks to the bed. Super exciting though, fresh tracks.
Well, we're gonna go take a hike. We'll probably bring our bows with just in case. You know, we found some elk tracks back there, so we're gonna take a walk around and go find some elk sign, maybe follow the tracks and see if we can find the bed. Go from there. We haven't found any tracks yet, but historically the elk like to move through this area, so we're just gonna sit tight and throw a couple calls out there. We might get one to come past, even if we don't call it in. Give me the Corey Jacobson special. What's a bugle?
Well, we haven't really seen much sign at all at this spot. There's one set of tracks, or two sets when we were first walking in, and that's all we've seen anywhere here, really not even any old sign in the dirt. So we're gonna pack up our camp and everything and just follow those old tracks down lower in elevation and see maybe if the elk are a little bit lower.
Some crisscross elk tracks from other elk, and I don't know, we're gonna keep following them for a while. I gotta be getting close.
We've been following these tracks about 2 miles. They kind of got crisscrossed and lost them a little bit, but they're fresh. They're from today for sure. And we just came across this 4-way intersection in these old logged roads, so we're gonna do a little bit of a call-in session. I'm gonna try kind of a lonely calf sound. See if we can get anything to come in. Evan and Dad are set up over there. I'm set up over here. I'm gonna try to cast the call a little bit back behind them so that they'll come right in if they come in, but we'll see what happens.
He's ready to go. Well, it's light out. The alarm didn't go off on the phone, but that's fine. We got another hour of sleep. Dad heard a bugle somewhere around here last night. We didn't hear, so that's exciting. That's a first. We're gonna trek off somewhere, probably either that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, or that way this morning, and find some elk.
Supposed to rain at what, 12 o'clock or something, 1 o'clock, start raining and snowing, so we're gonna hunt the morning for a couple hours here and then make a game plan from there. Just a little bit of an update for you. Today is Thursday, day 5, and so far we've only been able to hunt about 2.5 days. The weather was pretty rough the past couple days. 40 to 60 mile an hour winds, 10 inches of snow, low 20s for daytime temperatures, so really not great hunting or camping conditions. So we've been kind of laying low a little bit, but we have seen 5 total elk tracks. No elk seen at all this week. Couple fresh rubs, 1 fresh wallow, but honestly it's been pretty sparse, so just kind of how it goes with over-the-counter public land, but we're gonna keep after it. Still got about 2 more days, so we're gonna keep after it and see what we see.
Set up and call for like the 12th or 15th time without a response. I don't know where the elk are.
At least we saw something.
Yeah, we saw something with a heartbeat. Well, after another morning hike, we're gonna go try to do some elk hunting this afternoon. We should have been doing that this whole time instead of hiking, but I don't know, we didn't think of that early enough, so we're gonna pack up and head 50 miles from here and see if we can get into some elk. We just got to our new spot. It looks pretty dry, just like the rest of them. This meadow here is brown, it's just toast. We're gonna give it a good shot and hike around, see if we can find some sign. If not, we're gonna set up somewhere else for the last day tomorrow.
It's super thick in here, and we just came across some fairly fresh elk tracks, so we're gonna do a call-in session. I'm gonna do probably a kind of a lonely calf sound. We've got Dad over here to the left and Evan to the right. They've got different shooting lanes, so should have most of our areas covered here. We'll see what we can bring in.
Well, one last hurrah. We drove 2 or 3 hours to a new spot that we haven't been to yet this week. Should be a good spot. I've heard good things about it in the past, so we'll check it out in the morning. We're decided to sleep in the car, and Dad's sleeping in the truck tonight because it's raining and snowing, and it's supposed to be for quite a while, like 10 more hours, including tomorrow morning. So we'll see if we even get to hunt or not. It might be a foot of snow on the ground when we wake up, but we're gonna give it one last go. Tomorrow's our last day, so we'll see what happens.
One last hurrah. It's been what, 32 days, something like that.
No,
Oh,
it's been like 6.
okay. Last day of the hunt. We're into more snow. Maybe we'll be able to see some fresh sign this morning. Or some elk. That'd be better. Give it one last shot here. It's not too bad out this morning. It's probably 34 degrees. There's a chance for showers later this morning, closer to noon, I think. Might be snow, might be nothing. We'll see what happens.
Something walked through here not too long ago. I think they're from last night. Pretty fresh. We followed the trail about 0.6 miles so far. He's just kind of working along the side of this hill, but we're not sure how old the tracks are. They've got to be probably an hour to 2 hours because it's snowing now and there's some snow on them, but they're still fairly fresh. He might bed down soon. It's about 8 o'clock right now, but we know for sure that there's an elk on the other side of these tracks, so we're just gonna keep on going and slowly, quietly follow these tracks. We have not seen an elk all week, so if we can just keep following these tracks, we might be able to at least see an elk and maybe even get a shot. Pretty exciting stuff. We just found this bull's bed, his first bed, not too long ago, about 100 yards. And the tracks after that get pretty fresh, so we came up here to this hillside. We got the wind in our favor. We're just gonna do some cow calls and hopefully pull him up the hill. It's the first live animal we found. Well, I guess Dad saw some moose the first, second.
We saw some deer.
Oh yeah, we've seen deer too. And squirrels. And chipmunks. And a few hunters. Maybe next year we could try elk hunting. That's so awesome.
Went into one of their settings. Wait a minute. Okay, we'll try it. One, you're going downhill, these two. Get a good picture right here.
Pretty much ever since we first saw that first moose,
Yeah.
we haven't seen the elk tracks.
No, we haven't. We've seen one move.
Have we seen one all morning?
What?
An elk track.
I think so.
I'm
'Cause
pretty sure what we were following was elk.
that bed was pretty small for a moose.
Yeah, to me, the moose stayed out over, unless they're crossing over.
It was probably a mature bull that heard us walking and heard us try to call. And he tried to call.
And stripped off its elk costume,
Yeah.
put on a moose.
That, yeah. Either that.
That makes sense.
Either that or he...
It makes no sense.
either that or he got smart and found the cow moose. Decided
That's
to
enough.
mingle with them and throw
Okay,
us off.
how do you want, what do you want to go to get out of here?
Do you want to leave?
Well, where are we going to go? I mean, we're going to have to, do we follow the bottom? Do we,
Probably go up the ridge if you want to go back to the road.
well, should we follow the bottom for a ways here?
Yeah, we can.
And see if there's any elk tracks
Yeah,
across?
yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah. We have to tell the story.
So the draw goes down there and it goes...
I'll have to look on my map. I'll have to look on my Onyx map system.
Use promo code Randy.
Use promo code EVAN, EVAN, for 100% off that code.
Moose Talk.
Well, for one thing, I'm in a lot better shape than I came. It's a little discouraging not seeing any elk and very little elk sign, but we did see quite a few moose. And
Yeah,
we
that
had
was
a-
neat.
And we had fun. That was the main thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we found some tracks here really early, and just one set of tracks, and we tracked it for a while, and eventually they got intertwined with some moose tracks. We didn't know they were moose tracks at first, but then we saw a cow and her baby. That was kind of neat. Never seen a moose that close. They're big. Then we saw another cow. Couldn't tell if she had a calf with her or not. That about wraps up the trip. I heard my first bugle. That was the main thing I wanted to accomplish, and we did that first day.
Answered back to you.
Yeah, it did. Threw out a bugle, didn't get it on film because we didn't think we'd hear anything, but he bugled right back, and you'll just have to trust us.
Yeah. How many deer did we see? 15?
yeah, at least that.
15 deer. You said 40 miles. And
Yeah, it was about 39.40, roughly 40 miles of hiking.
a lot in the snow.
At 10,000 feet, that's
For me, that's a lot of miles. I can feel it.
Yeah, that's just the way Colorado over the counter goes sometimes. Sometimes you have a lot of success and see a lot of elk, and sometimes you hunt all week hard and don't see a single elk, but that's just the way hunting is sometimes.
Yeah, and you could really tell it's a dry summer here in Colorado. It's just bone dry pretty much everywhere, and there's no elk sign anywhere. It's just vacant pretty much of all wildlife. And we found a few tracks where it was wetter, but not a lot. I don't know if it's the weather or they're just bunched up in the groups already, or maybe they're still up high somewhere, but I don't know. If any of you guys are hunted Colorado in 2020, let us know in the comments.
We'll hopefully be back here again soon.
Yep, planning on it. That was pretty good.
Hey, you want to bugle real quick? You do the same thing every time.
Do you want me to talk?
Yeah.
Oh. What am I gonna say? Here, let me talk like this. Well, we packed up camp, we didn't find anything.
You're just trying to be so serious, but you're laughing all the time.
We're gonna put this in the blooper reel.
Yeah, the whole video is a blooper reel.
Oh, touche. Oh, score. Wow. This is an aspen. You can tell it's an aspen because of the way it is. What a beaut.